Yo, welcome in, fellas. So everybody has their own favorite ladder starter. It's kind of their go-to, and I'm no exception. Mine's actually the Energy Shield Nova Sorceress, but why exactly do I love this one so much for starting off a ladder? Well, let me show you. Now, first of all, let's just take a look at the actual playthrough is with a Nova Sorceress. Now, if you're playing completely solo, I would not necessarily recommend to actually play through the game with a Nova Sorceress. You don't really have enough damage output to kind of take care of everything yourself. You can't break all the immunities, so all the lightning immunities you can't really deal with. But if you're playing online ladder, of course, you should probably be playing with other people. So in that particular instance, you're going to have people, maybe there'll be a melee or two, there'll be a few other sorceresses, maybe a fire, maybe a cold, someone's dropping blizzard, maybe we've got a couple paladins, maybe an assassin mixed in there, who knows. But the thing is what I'm getting at is there a variety of types of damage. So if you're playing through completely solo, you only have lightning. There are actually a ton of lightning immunes in this game, and some stuff that you really want to take out quick are the ones that are going to be immune to lightning. You're not going to have Infinity. You're not going to have a Sunder Charm. So what do you got to do? A lot of people will dual spec in a situation like that or something. But if you're playing through with a full party, if you're strictly lightning, it's going to be okay because you got other people to kind of help you out. Also, let's take a quick look at the skill tree. If you are in a full party, you kind of want to do things that are going to help out your whole team. You don't want to just be completely selfish, right? So what do we have on the Nova Sorceress helps out the full team? Well, I don't know if you ever heard of this skill, Static, but holy smokes, this thing is, well, borderline busted. In normal difficulty, you can chop monsters all the way down to just 1 health point if you just cast it over and over again. But this helps out a ton on the big bosses on a playthrough. Now in Nightmare difficulty, you chop them down to 25%, and of course in Hell difficulty, you can chop them down to half health, and then you guys can go ahead and take them out from there. So you're literally killing the monster halfway down before anyone else even touches him. That helps out the team so much, it's crazy. And of course, another thing that all sorcerers have, you see it right there, that is teleport. So obviously you can always be your team's teleporter for all those areas you want to skip. You can teleport down Act 3, get the body parts so people aren't running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to look for where to go. You can teleport and zip down and get that stuff. So now we got the playthrough over, but the thing is you need to go out and find better gear. You probably have absolutely garbage at this point. Can this build actually do it? Now this is absolutely not a build guide, but just to show you generally on a playthrough, Energy Shield isn't going to work because you don't have enough energy and you can't minus the damage consumed enough. So actually I go max Vita right through the playthrough, and then early on at ladder, like right after you finish the game, right when you're going and do the first initial farming, get first piece of gear, I actually go max Vita. I know it seems strange, but yeah, I'm actually not going to use Energy Shield right off the bat. And just to kind of show you, I just have generic pieces up here. I mean, a random FCR. We got just belt that I found randomly somewhere, a couple of shopped pieces. It's just a bunch of Garbo gear on my max Vita Nova Sorceress at this point. Now, where are the spots that this thing is so good at farming that makes it a good ladder starter? Now, the first one was actually the Cold Plains. Wait a second, Phil. Nobody farms the Cold Plains. Well, that's actually a little bit of a problem because out here, there are occasional lightning immunes like those Lancer ladies right there. But then there's also these other ones that are not. Flash, flash, flash. There goes a champion, and hey, that champion could drop you something good. Hey, here's another champion pack. And they're slow, and they're dumb, and they're weak. So you could easily come out here and find your Mage Fist, Trang's Gloves, Travs. You could find just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of those mid-level uniques out here in Hell difficulty that can really help you out, or that you can trade for something that you actually need. And also, for instance, this area could be terrorized, so keep an eye on whether any of these early on Act 1 areas are actually terrorized. You got Bishi Bosh out here. You got all kinds of just weak monster packs. So even though flies a little under the radar, don't sleep on these early Act 1 areas, especially for this Energy Shield Nova Sorceress, for getting those Sunder Charms early on and, you know, just farming out there, leveling up. So next up, of course, I mean, you could go ahead and farm this way out to where I'm actually heading, or if this is the Terror Zone, of course. But where are we actually heading? One of my favorite places to take this, we're down in the Forgotten Tower heading after the Countess. But don't sleep on the full area either. There can be those archers down here give you a problem, but there's champion packs that can drop you good stuff. It's not uncommon, not guaranteed by any means, but not uncommon for me to find a high rune on the way down here from one of these weak packs on the way. Of course, you could find a 4-socketed crystal sword to make your first spirit if you needed to. And also, not uncommon, this is almost, when starting with this character, every single time almost, I find a white monarch or a 4-socketed monarch here, killing packs on the way down to the Countess. Also, don't forget, these ghost packs actually have higher rune drop rates. The benefits keep going. You have an armor rack here that Well, Cantor trophy right there. Could have been a Trang's head, but yeah, you can actually get good stuff off these sometimes. I quite often get my White Monarch off of that rack right there. And of course, we have the most important thing right at the end, and that is the Countess that can give you runes pretty much every time. Ral, Tier, Am. Ooh, nice. The good thing is you can actually go ahead and get yourself an rune from the Countess out here. And most people will know that rune can be used to make a Crescent Moon. Minus enemy lightning res is insane to get on the Undershield Nova Sorceress. I didn't mention it, but also don't forget you can get keys from the Countess. One of the 3 keys you need to farm Ubers, or more specifically what I use them for, is trading for what I need. So next spot, we're here at the Arcane Sanctuary. Now, what is this place good for? Well, instantly you can see we've got ghost packs with that higher rune drop chance. You have these goat men that are pretty weak. They're not very fast. They're not very dangerous. And there's actually quite a bit of density, and it's kind of an incredibly large area. Now, at this level, it can be dangerous. We got to be careful. Still a great place to farm. So with the Arcane Sanctuary, you also have, I don't remember if these are considered super chests or not, but they can definitely pop out a ton of stuff, sometimes exploding down the pathway here because there's so many items, including, but not limited to, different mid runes and even high runes. And of course, at the very end here, we've got the Summoner. Most people will know what's good about the Summoner, right? Didn't get one this time, but he drops the second key that you can go ahead and use to trade to get better gear. Another spot, gonna be pretty obvious. Almost any build comes out here to farm because it's right next to the waypoint, and the monsters, they're super easy. You can get lucky on something super quick, but come out here and take out Eldritch. Shank can be a little bit more difficult than Eldritch, but you can go ahead and do that too. So you can see we actually have a ton of different areas we can go ahead and take care of. Watch out for those archers. Woohoo! Boy, down he goes. So tough area out here, but you can absolutely take care of it. Now you may want to not risk it until you get better gear, but you could come out here and get yourself after Neelithak. Let's go ahead and play it as safe as we can. Can we get him? Can we get him? We got him! So the thing is, if you're on softcore, yeah, you might die literally like every other run when you have gear like a Spirit and a Lore and stuff like that. But you can absolutely go ahead out here and take out Neelithak, hoping for that third and final key. So a full key set you can go ahead and trade for. Really, you can trade that for high runes, and then you're well on your way to getting great gear. So I'm sure you caught what all these areas have in common that you can farm with this thing that really gets you going early on. It's all super consistent farming areas. If you're from the Countess, you're going to get runes to put together spirit sets and also get those keys. They're all super easy to trade early on in ladder. Also, you do take out other packs along the way, other champion packs, or just big packs of monsters in general, which gives you that lottery ticket, allowing you to get that god drop and also consistency. So no matter what, even if you have the worst luck in the world, within a few days, you can get enough of those runes saved up from the Countess at minimum in order to get at least the basics for your character. Now, what is actually literally the best ladder starter is, of course, 100% opinion. So let me know your favorite ladder starter build down in the comments. Let me know if you're going to use this one for your ladder starter. Don't forget, check that video right up over here. I know you're going to love it. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.